Federal Shipbuilding was operational from its founding in 1917 until 1949. It was a subsidiary of the United States Steel and was based in Kearney, New Jersey, on the banks of the Hackensack River. The facility made steel ships for ocean travel, including military vessels. The founding of United States Steel in 1901 marked the largest business initiative ever undertaken. Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and Charles Schwab were all involved in the launch of this company, which is based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. United States Steel expanded its operations to include shipbuilding under the leadership of James Farrell Sr., who became president of the corporation in 1910. In launching Federal Shipbuilding, he correctly assessed the potential to profit off the rapidly expanding economy related to ocean travel. The original site for Federal Shipbuilding consisted of 60 acres on the Newark Bay and was later developed to include 160 acres. The war lent an urgency to this project, and construction was quickly completed. The first charge of the Federal Shipyard was to assist with war efforts in World War I. During World War I, the shipyard produced 30 boats, including cargo vessels. Rail lines were quickly added to existing routes to enable access to the new facility. Federal Shipbuilding was part of a vast network of ports and shipbuilding facilities along the New York and New Jersey coastlines. Federal Shipbuilding established itself as one of the nation's 5 leading shipbuilders in the years before World War II. In 1940, the Shipbuilders Workers Union launched a famous strike against the company, although the federal government quickly sent in mediators to resolve the dispute, which ended without United Steel making concessions to the union. In 1941, the U.S. Navy assumed control of Federal Shipbuilding during another labor dispute. Ownership was later returned to United States Steel in 1942. Federal Shipyard built Summers, Benham, Gearing, and destroyer-class ships, as well as cruisers and merchant ships. Ships built there include the USS Atlanta, the USS Kearney, the USS Waller, the USS English, and the USS Guyot. For a period lasting from 1930 until shortly after World War II, Federal Shipbuilding was the second leading producer of destroyers in the country. The River Terminal Development Complex now occupies the site that once housed Federal Shipbuilding. While some of the original buildings on the site are still present, their condition has deteriorated significantly. During its years of operations, Federal Shipbuilding was a site of asbestos exposure. Asbestos was used commonly in the shipbuilding industry until 1989, when its use in the United States was largely banned by the Environmental Protection Agency. Asbestos exposure can, over time, lead to the development of respiratory conditions such as asbestosis, lung cancer, and mesothelioma. A rare form of cancer, mesothelioma, affects the mesothelium, a membrane lining the body's internal organs. It most commonly affects the chest wall and the abdominal lining. There have been many cases in which workers exposed to asbestos on the job have sued employers that withheld information about the risks of exposure or failed to provide proper safety equipment. United States Steel, the owner of Federal Shipbuilding, has been sued thousands of times by former employees for damages related to asbestos exposure. One case which received particular attention was an award of $50 million to a former steel worker. In a 2004 report, United States Steel reported that it was a defendant in 3,700 cases related to asbestos exposure, involving 14,300 plaintiffs. Among these, approximately 200 plaintiffs were directly affected by mesothelioma. In 2001 alone, United States Steel settled 11,166 claims related to asbestos exposure. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information.
If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net. Information and help for patients and families.